Money is important. The end. No, I'm kidding. No, there's obviously a lot more than that. But money is definitely important. And you probably heard some sayings like "Get your money up, not your funny up." You know. So I had to do that, like the fucking video, because I know what I'm talking about. Shit's funny as fuck, but um, yeah, uh, yeah, getting your money up is quite an important skill to have in life because you need money for things, and I'm sure everybody knows this, so I'm not gonna go on like why money is like very important, obviously, like why you need money. But you know, like I'll talk to some people about like certain things I want to do, like being a doctor, right? And whenever I mention I'm doing it for the money, just saying that outright, that's like God forbid me ever do this, because oh, you should never do this for money. You should do this out of the kindness of your own heart and all this sort of thing. Like, no, fuck you. I'm not doing it out of the kindness of my own heart. Not inherently, right? Like, if I'm gonna be a doctor out of the kindness of my own heart, I'm not going to medical school then. I'm just gonna be an underground doctor. Like, fuck that. Because, if I'm gonna go to medical school, well, first of all, I'm paying like $300,000, let's say, safely around there. And like an American medical school, that's $300,000, let's say. Okay. Obviously, it could be more or less depending on school, but we'll stick with that number. But $300,000, that's a whole house. That is a house. You pay off a house with that money. That is it, right? Like, think of how crazy that shit is. You're paying a fucking house for 4 years of school. For more, to maybe get into a program you want to get into and then make the money, blah, 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 right? But no, you want to do it out of the kindness of your own heart, right? So you're not going to get paid. Why would you want money if you're doing it out of the kindness of your own heart? If you feel great and you feel wonderful, so, great about yourself, if you just serve other people, it does feel awesome, right? Until you get a couple assholes. And like they don't even want your help. You get like some drunk bastard off of the street, or like you get some drug addict. Or maybe you get like some old man who just hates his life, or like some suicidal people. I like all those people who don't even want to listen to you. Like they already hate you by their guts because they have to spend so much money, and you're not getting any money because you're doing it out of the kindness of your own hearts, right? Or you're basically letting the hospital or like the organization or whatever, they can have the money. I don't care. No, I'm fine with having no money. That's what you're saying when you're saying like, oh, it's bad for doctors, or like it's bad for like if you want to be a doctor, go for the money only. Like, okay, here's something we have to get straightened out. Okay, like if you're going for the money for any sort of career, like, if that's your only goal, okay, then yeah, don't do it. Fine, right? Because this is mainly for your sake. This is for the sake of like, okay, well, like if your main goal in life is money, you're not gonna make it that far because money is a tool. It's just an asset that you need to buy essential things for you to survive in life, like food, water, shelter, these things, okay? And to live like a nice lavish lifestyle, sure, you need that too. And I mean, if that's your end goal too, a lavish lifestyle, then I mean, that's also not the best end goal, really, because rich people have mental health problems. A lot of mental health problems. Like, there's a good amount of rich people with mental health problems. It's actually a pretty common thing, funny enough. Like if I were to tell you, oh, like that rich guy's depressed, you would believe me. And you would think, like, oh yeah, that makes sense. He's rich. But that's not it. Money doesn't make you depressed. Money just inflates who you are as a person, right? So, like, if you're a very good person, you have like you're basically an angel, you have like all these great thoughts in your head, you're such a wonderful person, right? Let's say that is true. And you have $5 billion. What are you going to use that $5 billion on? Obviously yourself. That's guaranteed right there. But you're not going to spend it on like 5 Bugattis and like 7 Lamborghinis or like 12 yachts or some shit. No. You're just gonna have like a nice like minimalist or like middle class, let's say, middle class lifestyle, and you're gonna spend the rest of that money going to Africa or some shit, like help building homes or like providing for food and water there, giving some children in like third world countries opportunities that you had and you want them to grow along like you did, that's what you would do with your money. If you're an asshole and you had $5 billion, then yeah, you would go ahead and be like Andrew Tate, basically, or like you'd have like 12 different Bugattis, or like you have the LGBTQ Bugatti, basically. But, but yeah, that would basically be you. Okay, and yeah, fair. Yeah, like that is true. Yeah, money can make you an asshole if you are already an asshole. So the thing is, right? If you're striving for money, if you really want this, like, if you want to be like Jeff Bezos money, basically, you want to get your money up real badly. First of all, how's your head? What's in your head? How's your head? Is it okay? Is it fucked? Are you horny all the time? Questions like that, alright? Like, I know that sounds stupid. Are you horny all the time? What does that have to do with it? Trust me, it has a lot to do with it. A lot of things, right? Like, for example, I'm currently facing through this sort of issue, right? Like, I'm a fucking horny ass bastard, unfortunately. As, I haven't had any sort of intimacy, I'm still single, I've never dated anyone. I still talk to girls, but more like in a friendly, conversational manner. Not in like, yo, you wanna fuck, right? And that's something I need to work on my own. And sure, yeah, that's a sign of like some mental health problems, I'm not gonna say like I'm like depressed or anything, or like, I wanna kill myself or that sort of thing. It's like, it's something missing, but like if you have like IKEA furniture and you missed a screw or something, it's not the big end of the deal. That's sort of the same thing I feel like with myself. But I mean, maybe I don't know. Maybe I'm coping right now. Who knows? I can't say for sure. That's but shit like that, right? Like your mental health comes first. And if your mental health is shit, yeah, don't go for the money then. Focus on your mental health instead. That is your main important thing because that is you. You are the priority here in this situation, right? So, like, you need to make sure that you can even function as a human and have control of that money, right? But, anyways, that's like a whole tangent of it. So, going back to the idea of, like, getting a career, like, getting a high paid career for the sake of money, the people who say that, I'm gonna be straight up honest with you. The people who say that are fucking privileged. As fuck. Very fucking privileged, right? Because, here's the thing, right? Those same people, and like, it's no disrespect to them, because I'm sure, like, they're coming with like their thoughts and their beliefs, and like they're being honest with themselves, and that's totally fine. But I'm just saying, they're very privileged in the sense that, like, they probably grew up in like upper middle class to upper class families, and like, they were always provided everything for them. They never had any sort of debt issues, anything like that. And, some might be coming to me, it's like, well, you're living upper middle class right now, You're living in, like, a big fucking room. Look at this. Look at this entire room. It's big. You have a whole TV right there. And, like, yeah. Yeah, now I am. But you don't know the past. And, I'm gonna tell you the past, actually, to give you some context. So, when I was younger, right? Well, first of all, my parents immigrated from Iran, right? So that's one step. And my dad came with like maybe like $10,000 or something, 10,000 USD, or yeah, 10,000 USD at the time, right? Just like a decent amount. He had to sell his like Mustang and BMW or whatever just to get to Texas. And so he's off in Texas, he's doing whatever, right? And he's working really hard. He's in college right now, and he's working like tireless amount of hours just to make enough money to go to college and to get like this opportunity so that he could go back to Iran and like make a lot of money there, basically, right? Like, yeah, his main goal was to make a lot of money for a better lifestyle, So, there's that. But then something's changed in his life, he ended up kind of getting stuck in America, as he would claim. He brought my mom to the States, right? And then eventually we moved over to a different state, right? And, here we are in Georgia, and, around this area, right? And so, we're kind of just out here. Well, my dad was an opportunist, right? He wanted a lot of money and he wanted a lot of these assets so that he could live more comfortably in this country. And so he thought like, oh, he's like at the time Cici's Pizza, if you don't know, it's like a buffet pizza joint. That was really popular at the time when he was coming around, and he bought a franchisee of it. He invested $500,000 into that franchisee. And so because of that investment, right, he worked a tireless amount of hours in there. At the same time, me and my brother, we were born. So my mom was taking care of both of us at the time. And so all this was happening. All this like chaotic shit is happening with those two, right? And then all of a sudden, there's like some sort of decline. There's like a lot of issues with the restaurant, which I won't go too in depth into, right? But basically, my dad ended up losing $500,000. And that's a big fucking amount of money. $500,000, right? Like that's a lot of money we're talking about here, right? And so, half of it is just gone. My dad almost had to file for bankruptcy because he couldn't pay for mortgage and whatnot. But my mom had like a little bit of money lying around, so like she pitched into that. My mom had to start working because of this situation. Both of my parents had to start working relentlessly. And when I grew up to be older, like in middle school age, I had to take care of my brother, had to act like the third parent basically, right? And that kept it going up and up and up and up until more recently, where we sort of settled a bit more, right? Like we're in a more comfortable situation, and we're living quite a nice vicarious lifestyle. It's really nice. But the thing is, with me growing up, I grew up with the mentality of like money is this really important thing. And so again, this is different per person. Like somebody could be like in the lower class area, like broke as shit basically. And of course they're gonna want money. Like that's how they fix their problems. But you notice with like that entire story, I said that my dad used money to get to a place, right? That's how you use money. You use money to get to a place. I want a fuck ton of money to go from where I am right now in life to a better position in life and to better serve others. That's where I want to be. Okay? Like again, I don't give a shit about like 47 Lambos. Like I don't need that. I'm not Andrew Tate. I'm me. I'm Danny K. Okay? That's who I am. So, and saying that right now, right? Again, I told like so many other people like, yeah, I'm going to medicine for money. That's how it is, right? Because it makes a fuck ton of money in the U.S. Like average pay. Let's say the average pay is like 175K a year, okay? Which pretty good money. Pretty good money. Now, is it the most optimal? Not necessarily. The most optimal way to make money, if I'm going to be honest with you, is entrepreneurship, making your own business, and that sort of route, right? That's a really hard route to do, so I'm kind of doing both at the same time and seeing where that goes. Now, I heard like, that's not a very good idea to try to like do two big things at once, but I'm sure that will teach me something, and I'm sure I'll get back to you guys into what I learned with this sort of experience, But I mean, what I will say though right now is that obviously it's gonna be hard if you want to make that fuck ton of money, and if you could relate to this story, then well, hey, welcome aboard. But also, it's going to be very difficult, and you have to put in a lot of work, and as much work as probably your parents had to do when they came into this country. And I understand this myself. I compare myself to my parents when they were younger, and how tirelessly hard they worked, like how many like nights I had to stay up till. Like even now, actually, my dad's still like he's old as fuck, right? But he's working 12-hour shifts overnight, all because he wants to take care of my brother as well, and all this sort of crap, and to make sure that I get a good education and to be that doctor, right? And to like fulfill the Asian dream. I know it's like, oh, you need to become doctor, either doctor, engineer, or lawyer. And I was like, okay, I'll be doctor. But I mean, it's a bit of a different story. I'm not gonna get to that, but yeah, I mean, even though inherently I didn't really like the idea of being a doctor, right? Because it's like this is not my way of service. I still think, I want to at least respect my parents, right? And I know what other people are gonna say. No, that's a bad idea. Why the hell are you doing this? Why not just go your own path? Why not just like do your own thing? Shut the fuck up, you privileged ass motherfucker, right? Uh, but no, for real though. It's again that comes from a place of privilege. It's like you have that sort of freedom. You have this sort of like you can do like you have this sort of like freedom mentality where it's like okay, yeah, you can go ahead and do that. That's probably not the best idea. No, not probably. No, that is not the best idea because to me, that shows like that's a big middle finger to your parents basically. Because it's like your parents worked so hard in their youth. They sacrificed a lot of their youth to raise you, right? And so that you're gonna carry on to the next generation, and your dumbass is just gonna be like, let me play Fortnite, right? You're gonna do that? Really? You're really gonna do that for yourself? Or for your parents? Or like, just gonna sit around, watch some anime or some shit, or like hentai, whatever? Like, no. You gotta get your money up. You gotta be on the hustlers culture. But at the same time, like, I don't feel confident saying, like, you gotta be in the hustlers culture because, like, again, you know, going back to my previous statement, your mental health is important. You know, you need to make sure your mental health is important before you start making, like, the big money, right? And by the time your mental health is important, you don't give a shit about money. And in a good way. In terms of, like, money's not stressing you out, but you still want to get money because you want that tool to help you with, like, other big things in life. And again, like, money is such a weird, complicated topic, and, like, nobody likes talking about money, like, how much they make and whatnot, because people have this mentality where it's like, oh, like, talking about money, I feel greedy talking about that. I feel evil. It's like, no, you don't. You're not evil for talking about, like, making X amount of dollars. Like, I'm happy to share how much I got paid. Like, previously, what is it? I'm gonna say this right now, right, before I forget. I worked as an EEG tech. I had no certification, nothing. Okay? I got paid around like $18 to $20 per hour. What did I do? Nothing. Just fucking sit my ass down like this. It was like, hey guys, what's up? Why don't you come over here? Let me do the hookups for you, right? That's all I did. That ass. No certification, nothing. I just kind of like took wires out and then like submitted documents. 18 an hour. I was comfortable as fuck. I played music all the time. I did whatever I want. I got free food. I did everything I wanted to. It was a really good job. And I like good flexible hours too for the semester. Fucking beautiful. And I get to say I did that for medical school. Like, how fucking awesome is that, man? How fucking badass is that shit? Yeah, like, you know, you see people in fast food with like customer service, like same age, by the way, same age. I'm 19 years old right now. And like, I'll see people who are on the same track as me, but they're doing customer service or fast food or like restaurant stuff to pay the bills. Or like, the work at school, which pays them shit, right? Or like, they have to work through this like big certification to get paid as much as I did. Like, how fucking retarded is that? Honestly, like, I think that is the stupidest thing, because I didn't work jack shit. But because I was like, I want money, I want a fuck ton of money, and I want something to benefit for me, just went ahead and did it. I'll make a separate video, at some point. I've been talking about, like, you know, how you could get these, like, bigger jobs, or, like, how you could do some sort of bullshit stuff like I did, right? But, I'm gonna say right now, for some people, it's a bit demoralizing, but I'm gonna say this right now as well. When it comes to money, fuck morals, right? I sound like a huge asshole here, but, like, I'm serious, though. Fuck morals. Who gives a shit about morals, right? Like, do you think people at Microsoft that give a shit about morals? What about people in Facebook? People who run Instagram or TikTok, or hell, even YouTube to an extent, honestly. You know? No, actually, especially YouTube. What the fuck am I saying? Like, even YouTube to an extent. No, especially YouTube. The fuck? Watch me get, like, no money from the... Because I said this, like, oh, they look back and I was like, oh, fuck. You should talk YouTube. Nope, get it. Don't give out money, right? But, yeah, like, big companies like that, really, or, like, Google especially. Like, those places, you know, they don't give a fuck about morals. They'll do it for PR, or, like, for better representation of their company. But let's be honest, they don't give a fuck. They don't give any shits about, like, you know, helping some poor kid in Africa, right? That's not their main priority. Their main priority, money, right? So yeah, you should have a similar mentality to that. Don't go as, like, fucked and depraved as the big companies. Don't go that deep. But, like, but when it comes to, like, negotiations or business stuff, definitely be all about yourself. Do not focus on, like, I want to help other people. I want to serve other people. If you really wanted to do that, you wouldn't get a job which pays money. Am I right? You wouldn't get a job which pays money if you really wanted to help people. Like, be honest with me, all right? Don't be some fucking assholes like, but I need money, but I also want to do both things. Like, sure, yeah, you can go ahead and do that. But your main reason is money. Be honest with yourself with that. My main reason was money. But I helped and served other people with an EEG job. And you know what? Fuck it. It was like a win-win scenario, right? But like trying to get into that job, I was focused on like money, 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 right? But obviously it's not like depraved money, like obviously again. But you know, like that kind of mentality is like, yeah, you got you really want the money, okay, go ahead. But again, I know, like it feels so counterintuitive the way the messages I'm saying, because like it feels like a one end I'm saying like go only for the money, fuck everything else. The other end is like focus on your mental health, don't worry about money too much, right? It's like it's weird. It's like right, but the thing is, you have to combine those two together somehow, and it's super weird. I'm not gonna say that my EEG, like the thing I did for the EEG job, I'm not gonna say that was correct. And again, I would go more into that, you know, like later, more in depth with all this shit, right? But like overall, though, I'm not gonna say what I did was correct or like morally right, right? Or like the ethical way of like whatever. There's a lot of issues with that, sure. But hey, I had a goal in mind and I got what I wanted. You know that am I proud of that? To some extent, yes, but to other extents, not as much as if I had like if I actually worked towards that sort of position and like if I earned it through honest means. Okay. There's like so much context I have to say there. I don't want to go again too much in depth with this, um, but yeah, like that sort of thing, right? But again, when it comes to like this whole money like process, like again, especially if you're a college student or like if you just got out of college, you have like your bachelor, like, a lot of different things, really, you know. You have to be sort of aggressive. You have to be like, yes, that is my thing. I need money to get to this point, right? And that is a totally good mentality to have. Like, okay, yeah, I need money to get to this. Yeah, yeah, you do, yeah, of course. You know, you're not gonna say I want a lot of money because I want a lot of money so I can make more money and but no, that's how you get into golden handcuffs. You don't want to be in golden handcuffs. You want to be in no handcuffs, preferably. You know. You also don't want to be in a white collar jail. So don't evade your taxes. Don't think about that type of whack shit either. But holy fuck, I've been going over like a lot more recently. Ah, and I love talking about like going on to these sorts of talks about like in-depth shit that I've experienced. I don't know, it's just so interesting to me. But yeah, honestly though, like if you're around in my position, and if you're in the position where it's like you know, your parents have worked hard for you and you want to like provide back to them, you know, or like you just need money to pay off rent or some shit like that, then yeah, obviously go for money. You need the money at that point, right? Now, don't make that your main focus, but make it a focus. Keyword here, a focus. Not the main focus, all right? Make sure you have that ingrained in your head. Otherwise, you're really gonna fuck up your mental health with money, and like it's gonna be counterintuitive to you. Because remember, money is a tool. It is not like anything else. It's not sentient. It doesn't have feelings. You know, it's not. You know, like here. Let me provide you an example. A gun, a pistol, or something like that. AR, whatever. Right? That is a tool. Okay. That tool can be used for good or bad. The good part about it is that you defend yourself, or like the police officers could use it to defend everybody else from some psychotic maniac or some criminal or whatever going on a mass shooting, right? And you know that's one bad thing, right? Like mass shootings and like school shootings, that sort of like horrible stuff, absolutely terrible stuff. But like there's also like the military having guns too to protect our nation, to you know to sort of like could have some control over like terrorist organizations off in the Middle East or like stuff like that, right? But again, there's also the terrorist organizations who also have access to guns, and like it's like a conundrum basically. But at the end of the day, a gun is a tool. You know what else is a tool? Money. Money is a tool to get gun. Gun is a tool to do something. For our case, since we're not extremists, I don't think so. Money is a tool to just get to something in life. Money is a tool to get us a house, to live and to have a nice family, or to live and to settle down in some like nice area. Money is a tool to get a car so that you can go to work and you don't have to worry about the bus or transit. You don't have to be late for work. You don't lose a job, right? You know, you can have a bit more fun, enjoy life a bit more. Money is a tool to get you food so that you can live and survive. You can eat healthier, you can have a clean diet, and then you can go ahead and do whatever you want with your life. Money is a tool for, like, hell, fuck it. Money is a tool for me to get this entire thing. This camera, or like this phone, all this like software. Well, I mean, the software is free, but I mean, my computer, like all this sort of shit, all of this, so that I can have this YouTube channel, or to do my schoolwork, or to do voice acting, or whatever I want to do. I have so much freedom. Like, money is a tool to freedom. And freedom of expression, freedom of actions, all of this sort of stuff. And so, depending on the user of that tool, you can get either beautiful things out of it, or you can get a fucking monstrosity. And that's up for you to decide, honestly. So, what are you gonna choose? Are you gonna choose money for good? Or are you gonna choose money for bad? Look at me, I got my finger pointers, yes! I had a serious message that just fucked up. But yeah, seriously though. Good or bad? Which one are you gonna choose? Because I strive to make the use of money for good. And I hope you could join me on that too. So yeah, thanks for watching. And as I said before, get your money and not your funny. Oh no, I can do better than that. The nostrils. Okay. Alright, 1, 2, 3. Get your money and not your funny. There you go. That's how you do it. Okay. Alright, I'll see you guys later.